Hello, everybody. This is Kathleen. You're watching Blooming Lotus Healing Art. I am so grateful that you guys are tuning in today, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. I have some beautiful things happening today, and we have our beautiful Lindy Romez joining me, and we're starting this new project, which is Blooming Live, and I'm so honored that you guys are showing up today. I cannot explain to you how excited I am that you're watching, and I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You will not regret this because this is for you. This is to inspire you. This is to inspire your heart, for you to stay connected with your heart. So today, with no further ado, we have Lindy Romez. She is if you don't know her, she's a sound healer. She's the founder of EcoSync app. And basically, this is an app that helps you meditate. And we're going to talk about all sound healing today. We're going to learn a lot of information today. So please do stay tuned. And if you are tuning in, tell me where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. And let's go ahead and bring Lindy in. Let's see. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
namaste,
Namaste, my beautiful
Kathleen. Whoa,
sister.
so good to see you. Thank you so much for having this.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for you. And, and I don't think I can even say all of the things that I should say about you in one little intro because, you are a driving force of healing energy in this community here in this area. But I feel like just in the world, because for every person that you help, you're helping the entire planet. So thank you so much for everything you've been doing.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice to hear. It's interesting, you're on the path and you're doing beautiful work in your own right, but not often do you hear these comments like that so beautiful back to you. So you see it unfolds, but to hear it, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for sharing that one.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So for those of you who don't know Lindy, she is first of all, she's a veteran. So she has service really just rooted in her own right in every single shape or form. So that's an amazing thing. So thank you for all your service. And so she's a veteran, and she also practices Reiki. And she started her journey on sound healing, which she'll tell us a little bit more about that. But before we get started with that, I really wanted to, because the purpose of this live is to really inspire others in their spiritual path. So I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit on your own journey, and I'm kind of curious about how you got started in your journey and when how did this all get started? So tell me a little bit about that.
Boy, well, first, I'm lucky and grateful to have grown up with a mother that was connected spiritually. We were that household that what we talked about in our house stayed in our house. In the 70s and 80s, you're not talking about spirituality outside the household. So my mother was very, very psychically aware. She could see past lives. She can channel entities. We saw so many things growing up. So as we're evolving, none of this is foreign to me. It's very, very familiar to me. So people talk about channeling, and people might still be a little bit fearful of the unknown, right? But to me, it's like, oh, great. We're going to talk about this some more, So I was, we would stay up until the wee hours of the night just talking. I would ask my mom questions. And it's interesting when she would answer, it's the truth and it's divinely guided when you don't stumble and it's direct. There's some words missing, some fluff words missing, how we communicate, right? And it goes right to you and it leaves you with every hair on your body standing on end. And you know that you just felt like you were just spoken to by God and divine. Yes. So I got to experience that from very young. So I didn't get into really a daily meditation practice. And really, this is what it's all coming down to for everyone. I am a proponent that everyone should be doing meditation once or twice a day. That's
yes, girl.
A must.
Yes.
A must, because really what kind of sparked all of this was I had a car accident with a neck injury in 2000.
Wow.
So, and I'm a professional trumpet player, as you know, and I could not play my instrument for about 4 or 5 years. And I thought at the time of my accident and as I was going through my recovery that I would never play any instruments again. So that journey of being angry, I was in pain, I was suffering, I was on medications, I was on opioids. I think I get cut off for a second, but I was on
Yeah.
opioids. I was all kinds of things that I was one step forward, two steps back. None of what I was doing and being guided to do medically was helping. It was
Mm.
just kind of just putting the Band-Aid on things. And it really, I changed doctors one time and they gave me this test that was going to measure how much nerve damage I had in my neck. And
Wow.
for 1 hour, they tortured me and poked and prodded all inside of my arms for 1 full hour. And at the very end, I sat with the doctor after the readout and he said, oh, reading the results, and he says, oh, you have this percentage of, what do you call that? Nerve damage.
Okay.
And I said, great. What now? He goes, well, you have this percentage of nerve damage. I said, okay, what now? So we went back and forth with this, what now? This is great. What's next? And nothing was next. So I went home and I started to read books on yoga and meditation and sound, vibration, mantras. And I just one book went to the next book, to the next book, to the next book, the next book. Then it led me to get a prayer beads. And I started, the first time I sat down and I couldn't sit. I couldn't sit comfortably. I couldn't lay comfortably. I had a papasan chair. You remember those old school papasan chairs? You kind of cradle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one of those. And I could just barely get myself into this where I could semi feel like it can be kind of cozy for a minute. But
Right.
so I sat there with my mantra, my beads. Actually, I had them on. These are my first beads. They were white when I first got them. And over
Oh,
time
wow.
with use, they saved my life. Right. So
Wow.
the first time I sat down with them, I picked a mantra that I was going to do. And I picked Har, which is a name for God. And I said it out loud 108 times. And I sat there with the reverberation of my chanting. And after that, I went to go get ready for work. And I took a shower and I'm getting in the car. And all of a sudden, everything is different. It's like the sun was shining differently. I heard every bird in the sky. All the leaves were shimmering. I can see both sides, both greens. I
Wow.
got to work and I'm like, what is that? Did someone like turn up the volume? So
Wow.
something interesting happened that you can't put into words. To me, it felt like, you know, how you look at a kaleidoscope and then
Yes.
you turn it a little bit and then everything changes.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's what happened the first
Wow.
day that I sat down with vocal toning, moving sound, doing mantras, and moving breath work, which is pranayama, which is moving prana, right?
Yes. Wow.
So my whole day interacting, where I was fatigued when I would sit at my desk, everything changed. So from then on is when this all started. And that was probably 2004, 2003, 2004 when I said, okay, that's it. Got to do something else.
I know. Wow.
So
That is so intense. I mean, and going back to the sound healing of the fact that you were doing the mantra, so there was some sound healing happening for you, and it really like cleansed you energetically to the point where you were seeing differently. You were seeing the world from a different perspective. That's pretty powerful.
yeah, Kathleen, I play one of probably the most powerful instruments in the world, a trumpet. I thought I knew what a power sound was until that first day, with the subtle energies, that moving sound, moving the breath, then sitting in that reverberation that your body's making afterwards is it's even more so than the actual process of it. It's sitting in the stillness of the sound and the reverberation that's going on in your system, just lingering, and there you are. And you feel, people are feeling weird right now because they're not connected or not feeling connected. Man,
Yes, that is so true.
down. You sit down with these mantras, and even it doesn't have anything to do with anyone's religion beliefs. It's ancient techniques that have been passed down. We're so grateful that we have this available to us that we can use. But what happens is people don't do it. And
Yeah.
as the Buddhists say, people are attached to suffering and they stay in that suffering, and
Mm.
it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't.
It's kind of interesting what you're saying there, because it's true. I mean, when we're used to something, we're used to living our lives certain path. It's kind of hard to break away from these patterns that we've accumulated over the years. Especially the older we get, I feel like we get kind of you know how they say the saying, you get stuck in your ways. So
Right.
it's a lot harder to do that. And this is the reason why I truly believe in using whatever tools that are available to help us overcome whatever it is that we're dealing with. It could be, it could be, maybe addiction. It could be, overeating. It could be, self-deprecating thoughts. So many patterns that we've accumulated over the years that I feel it's hard for a lot of people, because I was talking to a friend of mine a little while ago, and he was telling me sometimes we just know that we just feel like that's the only way. We just feel like, oh, I don't have a place to go. But we do have a place to go. We do have tools available. And I think that now more than ever, we're seeing a surge of people seeking a little further, and not seeking so much outside of themselves, but seeking more inside of themselves.
Mhm.
I think they're finally kind of coming together in that sense. And so, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think that the biggest thing is really staying connected with our heart, and slowing down and listening. And I think that's really what meditation has done for me. I haven't had the experiences that you have, in regards to seeing the world in such a I feel like it's just like it's expansive way, right? Like you've
Right.
had this expansive way that's happened for you, but I still feel the benefit of it, and I still feel the warmth and the beauty in it, and that's the reason why I'm such a huge supporter of meditation and what you're doing.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
so okay, so you told me a little bit about your sound healing and how you got introduced to it, and of course your personal relationship, which is amazing. I mean, I can't even imagine that experience. That must have been pretty intense.
Yeah.
So tell me, so the way I got introduced to you was through a friend of mine, Edie, okay, which she also is working with you in your project with EchoSync.
Yes. Yeah.
So one of the things that she told me about was, you really have to try this sound bath thing. And she told me what it's like, what is that, right? So I was so confused, because I was like, sound bath. So like a bath, like what are you doing? Are you taking a bath? Like, what is this, right? And then she tells me, no, you just lie there and you just let people, there's a person that's playing all these sounds for you. And basically you just allow yourself to relax and drift into the sounds. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, but I'm a little ways away, so I couldn't really get to you. And then finally I got to you one day, and that was just so empowering to me. Well, first of all, because your energy was such amazing. I mean, when I think about you, I mean, I think about
Aw.
this warrior energy, light warrior that's coming into this world to really just change this planet one sound at a time. Seriously, I just feel that's your purpose here. So
Thank you.
I just felt this profound connection, and the way you present yourself in such a sacred way, and such a respectful way to the sound and what it does, and to the people who are receiving it. It's just really a beautiful sacred space that you're creating. And of course, I did another sound healing, a personal one with you, and that was really powerful too. Um, and so for me, I just feel like, I just want to know, like, what do you feel when you're in that state of when you're performing the sound healing for others? What do you feel? Because for me, it was amazing, but I wonder, how is it for you as a sound healer, the experience on your end?
It's like you said, it's sacred, right? So I'm just holding a space, and I feel like I'm an instrument, like all of us are. Once we step up and say, "Oh, this is what I'm supposed to do in this journey in my life,"
Yes.
then I know a little bit, because I've gone through my own healing and my own journey, so I can share the little bit that I know with some other people. So I just get out of my own way and allowed whatever energies that is serving the highest good of everyone that has taken their time out, has left their house to come to this sound bath. No one contacts anybody. They just show up. And that has spoken volumes to me, just putting this app together by itself. People, when they're ready, they're going to show up. And
Mm.
when they're ready, they'll sit down on a mat and they will show up for themselves. Oh, I got chills all over. So it's about taking that responsibility for yourself, for the welfare of
Mm.
yourself. Because if you can't stay or be in this space of love and kindness for yourself, you have no business sharing yourself with anybody else. Please stay home.
Mm. Yes, yes,
Collect
yes, yes.
yourself before you spread your joy, whatever that is, in whatever context that is, with others. So I just get out of my own way and allow. Sometimes during the sound baths, I will be at the very end. I'll sit there and just be so grateful to be right where I am. And I learned this Sanskrit word arankara, which is a word for beginner's mind. And I've always,
Mm.
since I learned it, I'm like, oh, that's like every time I sit down and practice trumpet, and I've been practicing since I was 11 years old. I'm a lot older now, right? So I've been practicing all these years. So I sit down with a beginner's mind. I'm sitting
Mm.
down as if I'm so grateful to hold this instrument because it brings me so much joy. And if it brings me so much joy when I play it, guess what? It brings other people joy. So it's that sort of thing. You're kind of just embodying whatever it is out there. I'm just like everyone else, but we are all made with the same stuff. We're all made divinely created, divinely.
Mm.
But what happens is a lot of people don't understand or don't yet recognize their own divinity, right?
Mm. Oh my goodness. That
And
is so powerful.
when you sit with yourself in silence, and people are having this challenge, I think it's such a gift to humanity, this
Yes.
COVID. But when you sit with yourself and be still and listen to just whatever pops up in your head or in your body or the pains, when you can actually sit in your space, in your container, and transcend even pain and just be there in just holding the space of divine energy, you will never feel again that you are alone or that you can't do what you're wanting to do. You don't have any of those roadblocks. The ones we have, they're here, all of them.
Wow. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful and so powerful. And thank you for sharing that word of wisdom or those words of wisdom because it's true. A lot of times we get in our own way because we're entangled in our mind, in our thoughts, in the
And
running tape, ongoing tape. And so I agree, getting out of your own way. That's a really powerful thing. So for those of you who are watching and you're feeling inspired to do something, you have a dream, get out of your own way. Just go for it. Just start it. Doesn't matter what happens or who says anything. It's just everything is there for a reason. Everything is there for a purpose. And that is so true.
yeah, and if you
So,
stay, I'm sorry, just a couple of thoughts on that. If you stay in your mind, that's all ego driven and ego based. The mind is here, and then the heart is when you're getting into the space of loving kindness, right? So
yes.
I think, I don't know if you've heard me say it in sound baths before, but here's like the attic and here's a living room. The attic, no one wants
Mm.
to be in there very long. It's creepy, it's dry, it's scary,
Yes,
right? No one
yes,
no one
yes.
wants to be in the attic very long. But if you go
Right.
down the steps and go into the living room where the dog is, there's a fireplace, the family's there, you're enjoying your each other's company. It's
I-
warm and loving there, right? That's
yes.
where we must stay. So if you're here thinking thoughts and reeling, you're practicing something. You're going to practice whatever it is that you're thinking about over and over again. But if you can shift and go down, what am I most grateful right now? What can I say? What can I do that feels good to me right now? And how can I fill myself up? Where you get down here where, okay, I'm grateful to have food. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head.
Mm.
I'm grateful to have a bed to sleep in. I'm great. There's so many things to be grateful for. And we don't focus on those. We'll focus on the other things, the things that we keep chasing and the things that are all creepy. But I'm telling you, divinity or this sense of loving kindness is here in the heart center. And this is where you're going to find divine. This is where you're going to find the true essence of who you are. Because once you start uncovering that, to me, the essence of a human being is like the scent of 1,000 flowers.
That is so beautiful. Yes.
And when you can sit in your own scent of those 1,000 flowers that reside within you, that is magic. That is beautiful. That is the core of who you are. But if you can't yet see that, you haven't cracked open the door to get there, then there's where meditation and sound and vibration helps to make it less complicated to get into a practice of meditation. People make it so difficult, and it doesn't.
And it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. I mean, when I did a 10-day Vipassana retreat, and truly, I mean, it's just very simple. Meditation is such a simple thing. There, you really don't need anything but yourself. You show up for yourself, and that's it. That's all it is. Just put the intention in, show up for yourself, and understand that, you know, when things do surface, because we do touch a moment where maybe something will surface and you'll have to maybe deal with something you've been avoiding within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There is a gift in that. There's a gift in those moments where you're facing those fears or those, I guess, things that were stored away for so long. Then you're making space for something new to come through, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I learned when I was in that 10-day Vipassana. I cannot explain to you the way I felt afterwards. It was just such a joy that, I mean, even thinking about it makes me want to cry of joy, because it's just such a beautiful experience to feel that. My only, I guess, woo-woo thing that I experienced was just feeling the vibration all over my body, inside my body, outside my body, everywhere. I was just feeling this vibration of energy, which was really insane. I mean, you have to experience it. Like, nobody can really explain this to you. And the biggest thing is that I also want to, you know, if you're watching this and you've never practiced meditation and you want to feel all these things, just keep in mind that searching for those things is not the purpose of meditation. The purpose of meditation is to get to know yourself, is to really just go back within and get to know yourself. Who am I? You know, what's my purpose? Who am I? And get to love yourself, start loving yourself. One, you know, because I would, you know, for many years I cannot explain to you how many years I was hating myself. I was hating my body. I was hating my everything about me. I was just hating myself and hating everybody around me, you know, and feeling all these negative thoughts and all over my body. And, you know, and I don't know, something clicked after a while. I just said, enough is enough. I have to stop. You know, this is not helping me in any shape or form. And meditation has been a huge tool for me in that regard. And then now with your app, which, okay, so I downloaded your app. I have to say it's amazing. I was playing around with it. I joined. I opened it up so that way I have all of the access to everything. So I joined EcoSync, so I'm an EcoSync family now, part of the family. And oh my goodness, I mean, the way you have everything set up is so cool, because you have the timer one, which, you know, you can set up 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour, whatever you want to do. And then you also have the option to just different options for sleep as well. And I really love the pranayama. That is a power. Oh my gosh. I cannot explain to you how amazing it felt. The vibration that I felt, because with pranayama, she's walking you through sound, making your own sounds with your own voice. But then she's also playing, you're also using the bowls, right? The singing bowls with that. Yeah. And so I literally felt the energy elevated. Like, so with like almost like my voice married the energy of the sound bowl. It was interesting. It was such a powerful thing. And I was like, whoa, this is like, and I felt it all over my body. It was really intense. So if anything, if you want to experience something pretty powerful, pranayama, definitely on your app. It's just amazing. It's just,
thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Did you think about that? Did you actually, I have to ask you this. Like, did you actually think
I
about
love my
this?
secrets.
Because this is pretty cool. Like, seriously.
Yes. I mean, all this, you know, you're asking, how can I help on a global scale? What can I do? I mean, I've been through all these experiences in my life and all these traumas in my life. And I've gotten to the point where I can share something. You know, I've been to India. I've taken meditation and sound healing courses using Tibetan bowls, and I will go back every year and continue on this path of learning more. I mean, just because you think you know something doesn't, you're just scratching the surface, right? So
Yes.
there's
Yes.
so much room for, I'm a student in all this, but I've learned enough where I can share a little bit. So, yeah. So when it comes, I'm like, okay, I'll do this and I'll do this. And I want to add as much as the bowls as I can. Of course, Edie Marshall's work is on the app. Her background music is featured in the Echo Syncs, Echo Tones, the sleep timer and meditation timer. So thank God, she's like, I couldn't put all this together and do the music too. So she just happened to walk in sound bath, and I'm like, how does, when you actually decide this is what I'm doing in my life, music has been a part of me all my life. Where is this coming? Where am I going with this? And you keep on asking to be guided and allow people to come to me and show me and present themselves and let me be open to hearing and receiving. And then this is how it starts to go. And I cannot tell you how many things have happened along this way where I'm asking, show me. Even if it's a butterfly that almost knocks me right here, that it gets my attention to slow down. It doesn't have to be anything major, but when you ask, it comes. But then again, you have to get out of your way.
Right. You got to get out of your way. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. And it's really amazing because it truly, when I did, going back, I'm just floored by the pranayama. I'm telling you, guys, if you're gonna just download it just for that, seriously, so you can experience that. Because even if you're not interested, just because it's really cool, and it's also including you in it. So if you're somebody, I feel like if you're somebody who needs some sort of action, or you need some sort of you're kind of like on the go, it's a great way to kind of get yourself centered, because you're doing something. So you feel like you're doing something, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I don't want to sit here. I'm not ready to sit in silence just yet. I'm too
exactly.
to do
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's how I feel like, okay, that's a really great thing for maybe somebody who just feels weird just sitting, and then just doesn't, and then kind of, you can work yourself into sitting down eventually and getting into that state of mind of stillness. But of course, pranayama will do that for you. And okay, so I have to stop this right here, because I see here somebody. So Edie says, you have been a magical part of my journey as well. Oh, thank you, Edie. And then Debbie says, love the app. Ecotones and EcoSync have been incredible for my healing journey. And yes, the pranayama generates some powerful vibrations. The mantras also. Yes. See, so
my God.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that's some really powerful stuff. And this is the reason why I'm so into just pushing your app, because I just feel like this is it, and I don't want to say pushing, guys. I'm not pushing, but seriously, if you are interested, if you've never done meditation before and you're interested in sound healing and what sound healing does, or experiencing that, because we can tell you all day the benefits of it, but I think that you have to experience it to really understand it on a deeper level. Right. Speaking of that, I wanted to ask you, what would be the benefits of sound healing in general? What in general can you tell us we can expect from the sound healing, and how can we include those in our daily lives?
I'm glad you asked that question. It's very important. Well, we're all made out of sound frequency. We're all energy. And I think of us as this orchestra, this collective orchestra, all of us, every being on this planet is this orchestra, right? And you're a unique instrument, I'm a unique instrument, and this person's a unique instrument. Sometimes, depending on what happens in our life, we get a little bit out of harmony. Like how it happens either through trauma or through accidents or through anything that we experience that really just whack us out of our normal vibrational pattern. Then we no fault of our own, we don't have the tools to help us to get, I don't feel quite right. How often have you said that? And I really don't know what to do with myself. When I was younger, I used to go to the beach. I could feel myself when I'm out of sync with what is in alignment with me. I would go to the ocean. I would sit with my pad of paper. I would ask my questions, what I need answers for. And I would sit there in meditation. And right there in front of the Atlantic Ocean, not the most powerful, but power of the ocean, just being there and present. To me, present of the divine. That's divine energy. And you can feel that, right? So, and I would get myself back calibrated, and then you get the same thing when you go out in nature, right? So there's a constant hum that goes on. We don't hear it because we don't hear the earth hum at 8 hertz, right? We can't hear that within our normal hearing, but we can hear 432 hertz, which is 47 times that. Okay, so there's frequencies like in the echo sync category where it'll help you to sync back into the tone of nature, 432 hertz. It'll help you if you're not being very loving or kind, 528 syncs you back into the heart frequency. So there's frequencies that just bring you back into harmony. Some of the frequencies, if you hear them at first, and we all vibrate differently, right? What I say, and you've probably said this too. Oh, I don't vibe with that. Your boyfriend might vibe with it, but you don't, right? Yes. Same thing. We all resonate different. So what might be harmonious to me might not be very harmonious to you. And in that way, I would recommend, like I was just having this conversation yesterday with someone, said one of the frequencies, the pitch of it reminds them of the tone of a truck backing up, right? So maybe turn the volume down a little bit and see how that resonates within your system. And then just go to sleep with it. Because when you're conscious and aware of something that reminds you of something else, then you're going to associate it with that. So all these sacred frequencies that are there and have been available through ancient times, and we're so lucky that they're available to us, they are designed to align us. And even in the binaural tones where you have two frequencies simultaneously, one in one ear and the other in the other ear, those will help to put the brain. And this is what the most powerful thing I think in the app, because most people, when they're new to meditation, they cannot sit still, not even for 1 minute. You tell people, oh, can you meditate? Oh, are you kidding me? I can't even sit still for a minute. How many times do you hear that?
It's like, many times. Yes.
Right? If you had a quarter for every time you've heard that. But let me tell you, if more people meditated, we would have more harmony in the world, right? So yes, in order to get people to feel like they can meditate, the binaurals will help them, because in order to get into a deep meditative state where the brain gets into a theta brainwave, which is a very relaxed state, you're almost asleep, but you felt that when you're doing your vipassana, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're almost asleep there, but you are in it. Everything has shedded, and there you are. So the binaural tones helps you to get into that state naturally just by listening. So your mind has been trained to all this chaos. It's going to take a little bit to get them back into sync or back into harmony, and in training the brain to more harmonious frequencies, like the theta brain waves, the delta frequency, which is rest, deep rest. So I shared that with online, and I was trying to get it out to as many doctors and nurses that I can get it out to, where they can listen to it at night and just go to sleep. Because if the brain is not relaxing, they're just going to go, 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 go. I'm going to mention this, and it's very hard to mention it, but you're going to see, and we've already started seeing people committing suicide. We are not made to go, 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 go like that. We're not designed. We are human beings. We are meant to be. But when we actually sit and rest, we feel guilty. How many times you hear that? People say, oh, I feel like
Yeah.
I should be doing something. No, don't.
That is so true. It's interesting you're saying this because I felt that we've created a society where we're celebrating too much the overwork, the
Mhm,
hustle mentality,
mhm,
and I think in that in the spiritual community there's this talk about the world operating on very masculine energy. And not that the masculine energy, we of course honor it and we are grateful for the masculine
good.
energy, but the feminine energy really needs to come in, and we need to embrace it a little bit more, because it's that compassionate and nurturing type of energy that helps you slow down. And I think that, and of course it's creative and all that
Mhm,
beautiful part of creation, which we can benefit from that as well. But I think that when it comes down to the world and the way we've lived our lives so far, we've disconnected ourselves so much from the just the simplicity of life, just the
right.
simplicity of just sitting on the porch and just drinking your tea or drinking your cup of cacao or whatever it is that your coffee, whatever it is that you do,
Mhm,
or even not drinking anything, just sitting there and just watching the birds, and and
exactly.
taking in the trees and taking in the air that you're breathing, and just connecting back to yourself, and then connecting back to nature and just resting. And then when we just I'm experiencing this myself. I've been on the go, 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 to the point where your body breaks down. You start feeling like you're going crazy. You start feeling like you can no longer give anything else to anybody, And this is where we have, the anger and the anxiety and all
Exactly.
of this
I was
stuff
just gonna
starts
say, then you
to,
start taking out on everybody else around you.
Exactly, because you're
Yeah.
not taking care of yourself,
Mhm.
and so I completely agree with you in that regard. We definitely do need to start um slowing down. And we have a question here from the audience. Audrey is asking, ladies, what would you recommend for someone who has a lot of anxiety and insomnia to listen to get better sleep?
Oh, the sleep timers, definitely. There's a frequency in the sleep timers, the theta brainwave frequency, to listen to that one mainly,
Mm.
but any of the sleep timers. And thank you so much for asking that question. And because anxiety and depression is running rampant because we just don't know what to do with our negative emotions. That's just like a byproduct of all these negative thoughts and things that we're having, and fears and sadness and stress and anger that kind of builds up over time. And then it shifts into, now I'm anxious and now I'm depressed because now I don't,
Mm.
what do I do with this? I have all these negative emotions and I'm feeling all this. But if you're not getting proper rest at night, then your mind does not have the time to calibrate, equalize, right? So you have two different arms or two main arms in the nervous system: the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, your go, 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 constant. And then you have the parasympathetic, the rest and restore. We as human beings were not designed to go, 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 go. We were only designed to go, go, go for 90 seconds at a time. And that was when some ferocious thing was chasing us. And then
Mm.
we go back to grazing. When are we going there?
Mm.
When are we grazing? So we
I don't
have
think
it
we're
all,
doing that anymore.
not at all.
We're not doing that anymore.
No. And then the another thing for the anxiety question is slow, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. So there's another pranayam on that one, which is Nadi Shodhan, Dirghra Swansam, which is a 3-part breathing. And it'll get you into breathing into your belly and up into your chest and full into your lungs. And then exhaling your lungs, your belly, just in 3 parts, right? So long, slow, deep inhalations and long, slow, deep exhalations. Because when you're afraid, you breathe quicker. And the whole thing behind pranayama is so you can stop. We mostly breathe between 12 and 15 breaths within a minute. If you're more fearful or you're more anxious, you probably breathe more than that within a minute. The idea is to get
Mm.
under 10 a minute naturally. So therein lies where the practice is. It's not going to happen just because we're not doing anything. It's a daily thing. This is why it's a daily practice, that you start to breathe slowly. And that's why the one pranayama that you did, the the bee breath, is so powerful, because you would breathe, like, if you notice the next time you do it, you probably breathe about 4 breaths in 1 minute, because you're breathing in and then you're exhaling with that long hum, right?
Yes. Oh
So
my goodness.
did we answer her question? Did we address?
Yes, Audrey, let me know if that answered your question. No, she says, thanks, I will try that. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And, and I'm so excited that we're sharing this with people, because I think that, now more than ever, with the whole coronavirus, and there's so much anxiety in the world, and so
Mhm.
many people are trying to figure out, like you said, what to do with their own minds and their own lives. And, there's so much up in the air that when you don't have a practice that anchors you, I feel you will go crazy. You will go crazy if you don't have something that will anchor you back into stillness, back into your heart, back into your center,
Right.
and do it. And like you said that earlier, you said 2-3 times a day. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 2-3 times a day. And it doesn't have to be 1 hour. It could be, 5-10 minutes in the middle of the day.
Yes. And then
And
I sorry to interrupt you.
no, go ahead. No.
That's why I introduced in the guided meditation category. There's 5, 10, 15, and 20-minute guided meditations. So I did those with the idea of, you can do something for 5 minutes. Like some people say, I can't do it for 1 minute. Well, I'm going to guide you through 5 minutes of this meditation. And the idea before you go to 10 minutes to go longer, is you stay in this 5-minute practice until one day when you get up, that was 5 minutes. I can't believe that was 5 minutes. I could have stayed there longer.
yes.
When that happens
love that.
naturally, then you go to the 10 minutes. Then you go. Then you're in the 10 minutes, and it could be however long it's there. No one's timing you. You're not having to check in with how much meditation did I do today? Is it on my Fitbit? Is this working? No.
Yeah.
Be there until naturally, for the 10 minutes, when you naturally get to the point, that was 10 minutes. I could have been there longer. Then you go to the 15. So,
Right.
and you sequentially, you give yourself time to adapt gently. No one likes to be forced. Nobody likes that. No one. Tell me one thing in your life that you were like happy to do when someone forced you to do it.
I don't think anybody would say that. Nobody likes that.
So
Yeah.
if you can find joy and you sit down, even before you set, I've read so many things on meditation, but there's one of the concepts of meditation is the reason why people fail is because they don't set their minds already in the state, a place that they're going to sit meditation. So there's this stuff that has to happen before you sit. You have to, I'm going to meditate. I'm so thankful and joyful that I get to spend 5 minutes with myself. God. And the divine. No one's going to bother me for 5 minutes. And then you light your candle, you light your incense, you set you sit on the cushion, you make yourself comfortable. Even if you have to lay down because meditation is meant to be sitting up, because there's energy centers that lines along the Sushumna, the chakras have to be alignment and to move energy. You get there when you get there, but to get there, you must first start. So if starting is you're laying down, then that's where you are. You meet yourself where you are with loving kindness and joy, because you're not going to be able to give that to anybody else if you're holding that for yourself. And
Audrey says she said that she was mainly asking for her husband, but now with all that is going on, she's beginning to feel the anxiety more than ever. She says she really needs something to help her center and help her deal with everything that she's got going on. So I think that what Lindy mentioned, just having that daily practice, and like you said, just start with 5 minutes, and then work your way up, and then don't beat yourself into it, just kind of gently do it.
Yeah.
It should be something you enjoy, right? I feel like if you don't
Absolutely.
enjoy it, then what's
I'm
the
not gonna
point?
do it. If I
Right.
didn't enjoy it, I'm like, I can't wait to what I experienced during when I sit today. You know, this morning when I got up, I'm like, I can't remember what's gonna happen when I sit down. What am I gonna see? What am I gonna feel? What am I, it's just those things that, and it's different every time. Just like when you experience sound baths or sound healing, it's different every time. We are energy beings. There's something constantly moving and resonating and vibrating and doing all the whatnots, right? So definitely any of the things in the app that guides anybody right now just to start a practice, see what you like. And a beautiful thing about the sleep timers is I was able to test it with a veteran that had 2 tours in Afghanistan, hasn't been able to
Wow.
sleep in 10 years. And he had gone to the VA, and because like, I can't sleep. And they gave him medication. He slept for 3 days. After that, he stopped taking
Wow.
medication, and he goes, I got to do something else.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, that doesn't make sense. 3 days. My gosh.
yeah. So he goes, this is not an answer. So
Yeah.
luckily, he's married to his wife teaches yoga and meditation as well.
Mm.
And so she's teaching him and taught him some meditation that he's always able to get into some space. So I
Mm.
had him test the sleep timers, and he actually his testimony is on the website. If you scroll all the way down on echosync.com, his interview is on there, and it I started crying when we were during the interview. I was like, oh my God, what this man was able to overcome, because the body needs to rest. In order for us to release some of the traumas that we have that's built up in our system, we have to rest. And if you're not resting, that constant hum, like that irritation of a motor running, that when are they going to stop the motor? They've been sitting there for how long, right? It's that constant irritate that you got going. We must unplug. And that includes stop watching so much TV, stop watching what's happening next, stop watching those things that the more you focus on gets bigger, no matter what that is.
One
So
thing one hack, I guess, that I've learned from a also another uh, just beautiful soul that's really working towards getting people to meditate as well is Jay Shetty, which is, he's a former monk that, he's pretty big now and has a podcast. And one of the things that he talks about is that he stops watching TV at least 2 hours before. He doesn't look at his phone, and he doesn't watch TV or any sort of screen that's blue, like a blue screen, like a digital screen. He stops doing that at least 2 hours before to help him calm his body down, so that way he can go to sleep at a little bit more rested and not so, so instead of maybe being on your phone or watching TV, maybe you can pick up a book for a bit, and and then calm yourself with maybe some tea, and then make it into a ritual, right? And then even include the meditation in there, so that way you can really just ease yourself into that process of calming yourself down and just relaxing into your deep sleep. And I think that makes a lot. I mean, I've tried it. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not as strict as he is in that regard, but I do notice a difference the days that I do it.
right.
Whenever I do meditate before I go to sleep, and whenever I stop watching TV or stop any sort of digital technology,
Yeah.
at least 1 hour or 2 hours before.
Yeah.
So that's another hack, I guess, another hack that
Yeah.
you can do.
Got to collect yourself a little bit.
Right, exactly.
You're spread out all these ways, and you really, at the end of the day, you have no time for yourself. You have no time or no energy left for anything, because you're exhausted with all these exterior things. So all of our distractions are on the outside of us, right? Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. I mean, everything. And I think we also tend to do a little bit of we tend to keep ourselves distracted sometimes because we don't want to connect with ourselves, because maybe whatever it's brewing inside of us is uncomfortable. So I think that's where, having meditation apps like EchoSync, or having other sort of tools to help you kind of maneuver, and even seeking healing modalities like therapy or any other sort of support. Create a support system for yourself, so that way you can really stop going so much outside and going within, because that's the only way you can connect to your intuition. That's the only way you can connect with your heart. That's the only way you can connect with yourself in every single aspect, shape, or form, is really just going inside of yourself. There's really no other way. Mystics have said it for how many centuries now?
Who listens? Who listens though?
Nobody listens, right?
Oh,
But
no, it's that 108 degrees right here, because we're all
yes,
outside, right?
yes.
So it's 180 degrees this way to go and turn inside. So when you do that, things start to change, things start to open, and you start to feel things differently. You don't want to watch TV. I stopped watching TV, like news, and I unplugged my cable and all that before I moved, God, in 2010, like 10 years ago. So
that's a long time.
Yeah, I'll watch movies every once in a while, but I don't watch news unless I'm happen to be at someone's house that has it blaring, and what is that? Turn it off.
Right. There's so many distractions that are, and I think that's the reason why so many people are so overwhelmed, because we have so much coming in. We got a lot of input. That's one of the things that I experienced with Vipassana, the fact that we have we can't use our phones. We can't even use a pen. We can't even use a book, nothing. Like, you are just there in stillness for 10 days. And I realized the reason why is because it made sense. I said, of course, in order for me to take out whatever is inside of me, I have to just sit still for a bit and allow all those things to surface and observe them from a place of love and compassion, and stop all the input, because we have so much coming in at us, right? So I was going to we're almost at the end of the hour here, but I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I know, right? It's easy going, right? And for those of you who are watching, thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us this whole time. I really hope that this is bringing a lot of value to you, because this is truly for you. And so let us know in the comments if you're enjoying what you see, and drop a heart and on the comments, or also on the like area, and let us know how much are you liking this conversation. If you want Lindy to come back, maybe we can talk a little bit more at a different time. So one thing that I wanted to just kind of some closing questions for you. And so if you could tell your past and future self some words of wisdom, what will you tell yourself?
For my past self, it's probably the same thing as my future self. Always follow your heart. Always go within, follow your heart. Be you and only you. Be kind to yourself and others. And this is for both of them. Continue being the love that you are inside to others. Speak softly and kindly to yourself, because I've worked with so many people over the years that the amount of negative chatter that happens to them. Oh, I'm too fat, or I'm too this, I'm too this, and this. So just clean up all that. Be loving to yourself. And then if you catch yourself saying that, right that wrong right then and there, because that starts to end those negative vibrations that start to build up in the mind and the body. Right?
Yes.
So
I love that.
Yeah, my past self, I'm proud of me.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm totally proud of me. Yeah.
Yes, you wouldn't be right now where you are if it wasn't for your past self. So that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love that. All right. So if you could change one thing in the world, what will you change?
One thing.
One thing. I know. One thing. You only get one thing in the world to change. What would you change?
How people treat each other. How I would change that in the way they treat each other, like with love, with compassion. Like when you pass someone in the street, you say hello to them. If someone's struggling with something in groceries or something, you instinctively go to help them. So just the way people treat each other and all beings, just that people start to being more kind from here, though, not from, oh, look at me, what I just did.
Right.
Make
From the
sure you
heart.
make sure you note that I was just kind there. No, do it when no one is watching. That kindness, when you don't have to feel like, did anybody get that? I just some random act of kindness there. No, do it because it's coming from deep inside here that you want to do that.
I
So
love that so
just the
much.
way, yeah, just the way people treat each other. People need to start treating each other with love, kindness, respect, compassion. You don't walk in someone else's shoes, but you should view others as if they were your own brother, mother, father, sister, whoever you hold this endearment with. You should treat everyone like that.
I absolutely love that. And I think
Yeah.
that's such a powerful statement. And the more we treat each other with kindness, the more we can just change the world one act of kindness at a time. Really, truly, I believe that in my heart as well. So I love that. That's an amazing answer.
The Dalai Lama said the only religion is kindness. And that
Mhm.
when I heard that a long time ago, I'm like, wow,
Yes. You were
powerful.
floored. You're like, what? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. One last thing I wanted to ask you was, what words of wisdom do you want to give the people that are watching this today that you would want them to take in their heart? What would you want them to take in their heart today? And, forever,
And going
hopefully,
forward, yeah.
and going forward. Yes.
To start to create space for themselves, to sit with yourself for 5 minutes, start a meditation practice, start to do these things inside, inwardly, so you don't feel so anxious on the outside. These we're all part of each other, whether we believe it or not. We're all part of this energy, and it's not even only here on Earth, it's here in the whole universe. And it's, how vast is this? So we're all a part of each other. So when you're not happy one day, that affects me.
Mm.
Whether you're next to me or not, that puts a ripple in our collective consciousness that affects everybody else. So the whole catalyst behind, well, the main catalyst behind releasing this app was when all the veterans were the height of them committing suicide, 22 a day,
Mm.
remember that? And it's still going on. So this was the biggest catalyst for releasing the app, is to assist people that are suffering with dis-ease in their mind and their body, period. And sound is the easiest way to do that, because it helps you entrain back to your own wholeness and your own divinity. Period. You don't have to ask for it. Just like I said with the 5 minutes, when that comes easy, then everything else starts to be easy. So if
Wow.
everyone starts a meditation practice and starts to be more conscious and aware of how they're feeling, what they're thinking, and what they're speaking to one another.
Mm.
Yes.
That is so powerful, sister, warrior.
Oh,
I am so honored for you being here. I'm so happy that you're the first one here on this Blooming Live. I'm honored, and I
thank you
can't
for
I
that.
can't think of any other energy. Just
Oh,
let's just take it in, right? Let's just take in, guys, the beautiful energy that Lindy
oh,
is bringing to us and that we are all connecting to.
I had just happened to have a bowl here, so
Oh,
maybe
that's
we can
awesome.
just do like a couple of,
Yes,
like,
I
3
love
rounds
that.
of, is that okay? We have time?
Yes, that sounds good. Yes,
We're
yes,
gonna
of
go.
course we do. Yes, for you, of course, we have time.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Take a nice
Okay.
deep breath in and just let it fall out nice and relaxed. Again, breathe in again, nice and slow, and let it just fall out. And then one last time, breathe in slowly and feel your body relax just a little bit more. And just be right there. So when you're ready, slowly open your eyes.
Oh my goodness. Such a blessing, guys. If you're watching right now, or you're watching this on the replay, just if you need to back up to that little area right there where she does the balls, do so as many times as you wish, because that was beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you,
And
Kathleen. Thank you so much for
thank you
having me
for
today.
coming. Thank you for everything that you're doing, and anything that I can do to help you in this journey. Let me know. I am here. I'm a server just like you.
Yeah, thank you so
And
much.
all right, guys. So we are ending this right now. If you want to support what I'm doing here, if you like what you see, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as well, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and like the page, Blooming Lotus Healing Art, or turn on the notifications so that way you know when I'm going live. I will be doing these lives every other Thursday. I'm not sure the time yet, but I will let you know. You will just follow the page and you'll know. And of course, this will be on the replay, so you can watch this as many times as you wish. And then also make sure that you download the app, the EcoSync app. I've tried it myself, and I can't. Again, you know, guys, that I don't recommend something that I haven't tried myself. So I wholeheartedly believe in this. So please do download the app. And then also, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am partnering up with Firefly Chocolate, which is a wonderful cacao company who is pretty much just selling ceremonial cacao from small tribes all around Latin America. I really believe in what they're doing. They're really going out into the smaller tribes that don't have the ability to sell their crops to the bigger people. So they're going to those people to try to support their families. So do go into ceremonial-cacao.com and enter Blooming Lotus if you are interested in trying cacao, and you will get 20% off. So this is only for the month of July. So make sure that you do it before the month of July ends. Also, if you are interested in supporting me, I will be putting on the description some links for you to either go to my Teespring, where you can get shirts like this, goddess shirts, or also cups like this, and other really goodies that I designed for you guys to help you, uplift you. So every time that you look at your cup or your shirt, you feel uplifted. You have a message of love and compassion and uplifting. And I'm also creating a Patreon. So if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, go ahead and do that. I will leave all of the descriptions below. Don't worry about, I'm not going to tell you all of the links because I have a lot of links there. But just do, if anything, if you can't support with any of these things, at least just share this video with somebody who may benefit from this. So thank you so much, guys. And thank you, Lindy. Namaste.
Kathleen, namaste. Thank you so much.